I've not been reading chat because I've just been so focused on the game.
Yeah, thanks for having
you
me.
did a fantastic job.
Remind on the screen for
Yeah,
for
look at this. Look at this amazing time. Best time of 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah, your gold, your max amount of gold.
We're watching two guys do like 3 minutes on a seed. That's amazing.
All right, so next up on our list, we actually do have more prepared for you all. Bamlam, do you want to lead us into that? What exactly are we doing here?
Yeah, well, to wrap this up, well, actually, really, thank you for this run, for the presentation where these 11 orbs are located, and it's tough to pull this off, even though he made
that
it
wasn't
look
a great
easy.
seed either.
Even with these weapons,
honestly a bad
tough.
seed.
Yeah, this was a tough one, and you pulled it off. We like, I really appreciate that.
Truly, very impressive.
Next in line is McQueeb, and as you might know, McQueeb is kind of is well known to. He started the whole no-hit challenge thing in Noita, and we are going to have him doing basically the same thing. But as these challenges are so insanely tough and so hard to pull off, we made it a little bit easier and a little bit more entertaining in the mode. And thanks to Goki, which programmed us a little few nice features to make this basically viable for a showcase. Yeah, we're looking forward to show you McQueeb in a no-hit showcase.
Awesome.
And just
by the way, can we get a huge shout out to Goki for his things?
Yeah, he has some very impressive mods throughout the Noita community. He's quite something, and he does a little bit of streaming himself as well. He streams his coding as well as streaming some pretty cool video games. So definitely make sure you check him out as well.
I a small anecdote with Goki. I remember when I wanted to start the no hit challenge, I thought, you know what would be really cool, like a hit counter, right? Like nobody has one available yet. I don't know anything about coding, so I went in the one of the channels on the Noita Discord, and I said, hey, has anyone heard of this? Is it possible? He messaged me, and he says, yeah, I can do that. And then 5 minutes later, I am not exaggerating when I say that, he had it done and it worked. So yeah, guy's a genius.
Awesome.
And that thing kind of lived like 500 hours on Twitch, if you sum it up together, or maybe had been broadcasted like 1,000 hours into Twitch, I guess. Like we had it all running, that little counter, and yeah, it was nice. It's very nice. He did a lot of stuff for this game. If you get into this game and you feel like it's too hard or it's not hard enough, there is a mod called Goki's Things, and it's a collection of so many things which are very awesome, and you definitely should check out, including this timer.
It does a really good job at
new perks, new enemies. I think he's got enemies, does he?
I'm not sure if there are new enemies, but it's got a lot of new.
Yes.
All right. Then I'd say, guys, we change to the "we will be back soon" screen. We are going to change some technical stuff over here and be back for you in a minute with McQueeb doing no hit. Looking forward to you. Okay, can you guys still hear me? Can anybody just open the Twitch chat? Twitch stream and make double check. We are not appearing on stream, are we?
I am checking.
Just as we will be back soon.
Not hearing anything.
No audio.
Okay,
yep,
so we can talk.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, thank you guys. To keep this quick, we can talk later. Thank you for everybody. I know we were putting hours in here and stuff, but I'd really appreciate if you guys could stick around and comment on McQueeb, because I will not be able to talk during this stream. We are going to set it up technically a bit different, and you guys need to watch my broadcast live stream over here in on Discord.
Yep.
But
okay, that's good.
you need to mute it. It's very important. You need to mute my Discord stream, and this is the gameplay screen you talk to, and it's all gonna be fine. We're going to have game sound on the main broadcast channel,
Excellent.
just for the sacrifice that you have no sound and I can't talk, and I'd like to take that sacrifice. It's awesome. It
Okay.
makes the production quality way better than we have as we have sound.
Do you have a
again.
sorry, do you have a preview studio where we can just make sure that audio is good, or oh, you do?
Yes. That's the studio mode.
All right, so the
choose-
channel is my bot channel, so McQueeb bot. Just add OT at the end of McQueeb.
McQueeb or McQueeb bud. Is it 2 B's?
1B.
1 B. All right. Are you live there
I'm
already?
Yeah, I'm live.
McQueeb
I'm gonna
bot.
step away to get some dinner. I'll be right back.
All right.
MCQUEB MCQUEEBOT.
I see a black screen. UV. Okay. MCQUEEBOT.
EEBOT.
OT. Ooh, I gave an UD. Oh yeah. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, I see you. Right. Okay, you guys just look into here and everything should be fine because you are going to appear on this audio. That's why you need to mute this Discord conversation, the live stream.
Is
Yeah,
that
Okay.
I've got live stream muted already.
is that audio coming through?
Okay, we can't check it. This is the bad thing about studio mode.
Oh, really?
no
Okay.
try For audio, we just go as we go. Okay.
No problem.
Check it live.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
But I can't check anything. I can listen to you guys now. I will put this up. This should be all you, and this is only me. I can't talk. I keep myself muted. I write to you guys in the general chat of this Discord right now if you need to communicate for if I need to fix
No problem.
audio.
And then the guys, you could just talk to me if I need to change volumes or something.
Yeah, and could you do a quick reality check? Could somebody introduce the thing and somebody else, like Elias, make the opening and Smart? Could you check the reality in stream and see if everything's alright? And I guess we're set. This should work.
Okay, so the idea here, this is a modded no-hit run. I'll give the rundown on it.
Yeah, so it's the standard no hit run, except every time I take a hit, I get teleported back to the previous starting location for each holy mountain. So once I pass a checkpoint, essentially, I get teleported back if I get hit to the previous holy mountain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, I make the transition now in 3, 2, 1. Then I'm out.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. So now we have the most prestigious McQueeb playing. He has he's the original no-hit master.
Oh, 1
Going to
second.
be... yeah, no worries. Have we got sound? Let me know.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Anyways,
let's try
as I
again.
was saying,
Let's try again. As he said a million times already, but repeat that, please.
so McQueeb is the original no-hit master. He is going to be showing off his immense level of skill on this Goki's mod that makes it so every time he gets hit, he gets sent back to the very beginning of the game. However, enemies remain dead, so he's able to recover that lost distance with a slight punishment, obviously. So the goal is going to be to never ever get hit, obviously. We'll see how likely that is. How are you feeling with this challenge, McQueeb?
Sorry, what time is it again?
Right.
No, I'm feeling good. Having a nice evening. It's good hanging out with you guys. This is a really cool event thrown together last minute, and I'm just happy to be here. Hopefully, I can perform this evening, and I won't get performance anxiety. But no, I think we'll be good.
I think you got this. Although I would recommend picking up HP when you can.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so for those that haven't seen a no-hit run before, essentially it's the same thing that you've already seen a couple of times this evening, a little bit differently. We won't be going for any extra orbs. Instead, we'll be doing it without, hopefully, without getting, without taking any damage at all. But yes, if you've got any feedback about the audio, please let me know. I might have to tweak a few things on my end, but it's all good. Just to let you know, the mods that I have running right now, we've got teleport on hit. That's the little bit of a special modification that was created just recently. And the standard no-hit training tool that we've been using. It kind of records the number of hits we take throughout a run. So yeah, that's it. It'll be a non-seeded run, random run.
Excellent. So, one of the biggest damage dealers I feel in a no-hit run is the stains. In this game, you know, there's physical hits, and those are inexcusable to get hit by, I would say. You can dodge all of those. Stains, on the other side, it's very difficult. Now, there are a couple of exceptions, such as, you know, shotgun bolts. There are very specific attacks that McQueeb is going to have to really look out for. In general, the strategy, McQueeb, why don't you go over it? What do you do in a regular no-hit run?
I mean, the main thing to really be aware of is, I guess, enemy placement. Learning a no-hit run is by far and away the best way to get really, really good at the game. Because every encounter, whether it's small or big, you should be able to, you know, hopefully get better at avoiding all of that damage. It's all about sort of positioning yourself in the correct place, as well as, you know, maximizing the time that you have running around the levels. Now, we did start getting into a little bit of a competition recently when it comes to a little bit of a competitive streak between myself, Icy Wobbles, and Let's Suffer Together. They completely obliterated my time. The original no-hit run was a very careful, methodical, slow journey through the entire game. Every single decision was thought about very, very carefully.
I think it was still faster than my PB.
You laid the groundwork for us, man. You really laid the groundwork for us with the actual rule set.
I was about to say, you should go over the rule set.
You know, that was the biggest thing, showing it was possible.
Yeah, so, well, that was another thing as well. So I kind of, when I started this journey, I wanted to make it a little bit special, you know. I didn't want it to just be like, oh, use teleport and glide through the level, or even potentially use invisibility or anything like that. So Suffer, why don't you go over the rule set real quick?
Firstly, you've got the potions where you're not allowed ambrosia, you're not allowed invisibility.
1 second,
you're not
let
allowed
me
any
turn you
cheese,
guys
really.
up.
Say there's a rule where you can't say and always cast Matter Eater to dig around the entirety of a biome. Black holes are allowed because they're not game breaking. They are. You don't find them every run, and they won't help you avoid hits. Because if you say a black hole through a biome, like directly through a biome, likelihood is you're going to pop your head through and you're going to get shot. So ambrosia, obviously you're not taking damage. Invisibility, you're just avoiding damage. So this is all about a skill-based rule set that promotes actual mechanical dodging and a well-structured wand build to help you learn the best way of survival. And the best way of survival is not getting shot. So to have a no-hit rule set is that's fascinating. You can not use teleport ones as well. Again, any teleport potion, teleport ones banned, because they can be pretty cheesy if you get them in the right situation, and just allows you to remove big chunks of the game.
Does that include the basic teleport spell too, right?
Yeah. Yep, anything to do with teleport at all.
The basic rule was you have to go through the journey of the game. without cheesing it, and that kind of evolved the rule set over time as more people joined in, and we found different things to do. So we brought them up to the people who are running in the community and just said, "What do you think of this?" And the rule set kind of grew out from that, as well as McQueeb's original rule set, which was good enough to begin with, until you get more people running it, and then different things pop up, you know. So questions that were never even answered. Until more people started approaching it. And then, like McQueeb said, it just kind of evolved into different strategies and different ways of thinking, and that's why having many people in speedrunning and trying to bring new people into the fold is quite important to actually bring that fresh perspective.
Hey McQueeb.
Yo.
Would you mind turning up your Discord volume just a tad for everyone else? I believe they are having a difficulty hearing everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, let me change my OBS volume here as well. Whatever I can do to make your life a little bit easier, you let me know. All right, we'll try that for a little bit, and we'll see how we go. Happy to adjust on the fly as necessary.
Yeah, this is all very new, so if anyone has like anything in terms of recommendations, or if there's like a little bump in the road, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, next event we're going to run is going to be a little bit smoother. A lot of the audio routing is kind of difficult, especially since we're all streaming from our homes and not from a central location. So yeah, but we'll get there eventually.
Also, no ones dropped by the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
That was an important one, because obviously ones from previous runs that you've built that were bespoke ones you can find, which you could argue is also a level of cheese that getting something you're not meant to get in a regular run.
Yeah. You are allowed to take his gold.
No alchemy of any kind, even if found by luck. Because, and that screwed me over personally once or twice. I don't know about yourself, McQueeb. Where you see a little patch of gold on the floor, you jump into it, oh, it's multiplied. Oh, run ruined. So yeah, no alchemy. Well, mixing water into toxic is obviously allowed, even though that is changing of a substance. No alchemy is in gold, or abusing that kind of mechanic for abusing every shop you find, for instance. Again, it's a real anti-abuse rule set, and one for promoting good mechanical use of movement. One building.
Is that green or blue? I can't tell. So on the first level, there's a very specific few things that I'm looking for. When we were speedrunning, a lot of that went out the window because honestly, the level of competition was so unbelievably high. Oh, that's immensely good. That's immensely bad.
Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. Get dangerous. So Circle of Stillness is an incredibly powerful offensive-defensive spell. It basically, being able to prevent an enemy from attacking and then being able to kill that enemy in one hit is kind of unfair. And there are lots of ways of abusing that, especially in a no-hit run. Think about this. Unlimited Spells is one of the most recent perks added into the game. And being able to unlimitedly stunlock all of your enemies is pretty darn good. I'm interested to see if McQueeb's going to be able to find the perk that will make this possible, because that would make this run smooth cruising, I would say.
There's definitely a handful of perks that you really want to go after. I would put fire immunity, melee immunity, shields, less so the projectile repulsion field. As good as it is, it can, especially now, it can backfire. I'm not even going to touch that.
You know, I think one of the topics that we should come up with during the Holy Mountain journeys, because there's a lot of time that in a no-hit run, McQueeb will take perks that you would not take in a normal run, but because it's no-hit, he will make a decision that's not standard. And I'm hoping we get some of those perk choices this run. It's a very interesting topic. Very good.
In certain situations, Rat King.
Yeah, Rat King is not horrible.
It just chewed up enemies later on.
And that's the last we'll speak of that.
So
how has
rats
it changed?
plus more love.
I've noticed in the patch notes to say it's changed, but I haven't had any experience with it. Has anybody got the lowdown on the new rat part?
That you don't get healed by healers anymore. I think that's about it.
pretty much it.
I didn't ever use that anyway.
Esgaldu, glass cannon is banned in this run.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
That
one.
is a very important rule. Because otherwise the meta would just be get to the first floor, or get to the first temple, find glass cannon, and then one-shot all your enemies. Which is definitely...
not there.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want, like, overwhelmingly meta perks in a run like this, because it just kind of... It reduces the amount of options available to players.
The one final rule. Seeds must be randomly generated by the game. In the McQueeb rule set, in the original McQueeb rule set, going into a room fresh, so you're not prepared, and then you have to deal with everything in a randomized environment, makes it... Again, you've seen us do set seeds today and how we kind of progress very quickly through them, learning them as we're doing the speed runs. Like, we have that kind of mindset when you're approaching a challenge or you're speedrunning a game, whether it's one or the other, or both. Gamers who play a lot of the same game tend to learn very fast because they've got a lot of experience with the, all the tools at hand. It's just about using them. And if you're on the same map with no really random elements because you've learnt it all, it's going to be an actually massive change in dynamic about how you'd approach it. And you'd obviously get it done a lot quicker and be less of a challenge on a set seed, just with any other speedrun.
Yeah, it really makes you change the way you play the game, but I think like the level of skill grows dramatically over time. Like before I was able to get the first one done, I'd done maybe I'd done maybe I'd say about 150 runs, I think, before I was successful. Would you say about the same, Suffer?
Yeah, probably. I don't know, it just took me weeks and weeks and weeks of absolute kind of grind. I don't mean grinding in a bad way, because again, when you put yourself in a challenge like that, you have to get into a certain mind space where, yeah, you'll beat yourself up, but you can't do it in a certain way that actually affects you. You've got to learn from your mistakes and know when to take the time off to kind of... Because as soon as I took a little break, come back, you're instantly better because you've had that time to process all the information you've learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, it's one of those challenges that took such a long time to actually process every little detail of what's going wrong in all your runs. And again, having multiple people running the same game so we could all learn off each other about what was effective and ineffective was a huge help. I wouldn't have used the circle of transmogrification, for instance. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have gone to it if I didn't see Wobbles using it.
God, I remember that run. I was so angry.
I tuned in like towards the very end of it. I'm like, oh my god, what did I just tune into? Quite something.
If you're wondering about some of the reasons I'm doing things as well, you'll notice that I'm picking up empty flasks. Previously, I would have drunk them, but obviously with the latest food update, I can't do that because of the potential to take damage when you eat stuff now. So I just tip that out, and then when I find water, I will refill. Water is the most valuable liquid in this run. Absolutely, there's no question about that. It keeps you protected from fire damage. You can actually spend a couple of seconds in fire before, as long as it's not oil based. Let me make sure that that's said. But yes, that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm also hunting down as much gold as possible. There doesn't seem to be much around, and it's the layout of this floor. Yeah, the layout of this floor is quite unusual. It's both hazardous. There's quite a few high level enemies around, and I'm just trying to stay alive without getting hit. That's essentially it. But yeah, marathon safety. If I do get hit, I'll be teleported back to the start. The hit counter will retain the number of hits that I've taken, so that won't forget. And then hopefully I can still finish the game by the end of it.
So, quick question for you. So, like in the 11 orb run, my 4 items of choice would be water, pheromone, berserkium, ambrosia, probably in that order. What would your 4 be?
Well, I don't actually leave a lot on the table because of the rule set. So water, definitely. Berserkium is allowed, so that's very helpful.
It's so good.
I would even potentially hold on to pheromones, maybe, if I had a choice. Healing's irrelevant, obviously, because you'd be restarting a run if you got hit and taking damage anyway. Yeah, realistically, that's about it.
What was your favorite thing about running no hit McQueeb?
Well,
If
that's
you could put a finger on what you
that was
enjoyed the most out of it, apart from just the general challenge of it all. Like your favorite part of it when you're running, or what do you find kind of part of the challenge did you find enjoying?
it's an excellent question. The you know how you play a game and it's it gets you excited, like your heart rate goes up. It was essentially short bursts of that mixed with longer moments where you'd get down pretty far in the level and then just a silly mistake would you know, cost you the run or whatever. That to me was really invigorating. The fact it was something new, the fact that no one had recorded themselves doing it before. There were a lot of factors that went into that, but yeah, that's
like a euphoric dread when you get down far enough, like to just past the jungle. You're starting getting into the vault, like you start feeling this can be doable, but one hit and it's all over, and you get that dread. But you've got that adrenaline, so it turns into a kind of euphoric dread in a way. It's really hard to explain, but that's how I felt it.
yeah, absolutely.
And again, as you're the first one to do it, unknown territory. Like I don't know, I wouldn't assume my feelings were a replication of what you were feeling, you know?
Well, that's one thing that, and I can only imagine what speedrunners go through regularly since, you know, records are snatched back and forth so often. I was pretty confident that it would be quite a while before someone would be able to do it again. I knew it was possible. Like everyone said, oh, why are you even trying? That just pushed me, you know, further. It's kind of, well, I was a little bit disappointed that someone had taken it, but at the same time immensely proud that, you know, we'd started this sort of movement. And the fact that I knew the person who did it as well. It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing it evolve over the weeks as well. That was beautiful because, again, the final strat.
Did you see that?
Below 1 hour.
Yep.
Is this
it looked
electrified?
Like you tried to pick it up. So basically the way those work is they are doing a constant amount of damage, and yeah, it's 25 damage ticks, and you can throw it at the enemy, and it'll always do that damage. It's quite something. I think they're pretty useful in the early game. I'm not sure about their long-term longevity, and I'm not sure if they can hit the player. So maybe we avoid it.
Well, they can throw saw blades. There's about 4 spells that they use, and I'm assuming the saw blades are obviously gonna hit the player for sure. So
yes,
I have $400 right now. That's really low. Like previously, I would have been like 1,000 would be good, but I'm struggling to find money on this floor, so I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, I find it's a second floor staple. Try and find a diggy wand, and get all the money on the second floor. It's like a few. How much would you say if you mined the entirety of the second floor? 5, 10,000. So it's easy to get $1,000 mining.
Oh
say,
my goodness!
You know, just a square portion of it all.
These are some really substantial choices here.
Yeah.
So unlimited spells. Holy.
So
yeah,
stillness, unlimited.
Okay, unlimited spells with
no
freezing
brainer.
field.
And
On the speedrun, I managed to.
Check this out. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
No triggers. Oh, there is a trigger.
Ooh. That is substantial.
This is a run. This is a real run.
Bliss.
The best is blessed. Moist mobs in chat. Yeah, interesting, huh?
I mean, if anyone can do it with any setup, I'm gonna assume it's you with this setup exactly. Also, feel free to pick up the HP if you get hit, or you could leave it. It's up to you.
Homing next time, and you literally be, you know,
Pretty much unstoppable,
everything you wanted straight away, as long as you got money to up your ones.
I would like this to go with my freezing field so I could get a projectile in there as well, but yeah, no, it's fine. I'm pretty happy with that, and unlimited bombs as well, so I'll take that.
And health, just because, you know, why not?
Why not?
The fire bombs do 45 damage a shot too. Pretty good if you wanted some burst.
If you get a spell modifier, putting it on the freezing, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, like a double spell. That would be nice.
Homing damage modifying freezing.
Tentacler.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it was this spell specifically, the Circle of Stillness, along with the new update with this combo that froze their computer. So we'll see how that goes. See how viable it remains.
Well,
so I was actually saying that earlier in the Discord. It doesn't freeze your computer, but it can slow it to a crawl. That said, I was using piercing, so I was getting multiples, and I had Tentacler active on them, so it was one shot killing everything. I'm pretty sure bullet time is probably
man alias.
I'm gonna assume it's pretty valuable in a run like this. This should be beautiful. I'm excited.
So I
think this could be right.
That's the only problem, is that every projectile that I shoot has one of these attached to it now, and it's not going to run out, which means that they're going to be permanently on the screen, and they stay on the screen for quite a long time. So
in this game, though, the game seems to form in rectangles, but I believe anyway. I don't know if anybody else has any.
It's like a tower.
And if you get out of that sphere of influence, you will not be affected by what is actually going on there, or freeze it and kind of like code
square of influence.
For you to, when you go back into that rectangle of influence, then it'll pop up again. It's like why if you see something fall and then you manage to go out of that sphere of influence and then all the way around, say, you know, over the lava pit, something's fallen off. Then you go all the way around down the frosty biome and then head back up. You see it falling down when you start climbing it again. It's really cool. Just how they've had to manipulate things to actually make things work and not be running all the time to crash the entire system every time you run. Otherwise, you know, how are you going to load things in and keep things consistent?
I'm still learning how to deal with going to the bottom of the ocean, because that place, it seems like no matter what I do, I lag everything out.
Nuke the water. Nuke it until it's gone.
It's just
the
too
only
many...
reason to take the nuke in the tower. Nuke the lake.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I hate the delay.
The fact that they don't insta-freeze or permanent-freeze.
Yeah. What am I worried about? I got unlimited bombs. Let's just
choose a new route.
Yeah, let's just go. In fact, unlimited bombs means also all the money as well, so
it does. Watch out for
just
toxic.
Destroy the whole level. No hit, no pixels left. I mean,
the one thing that I find really interesting, and I notice more on these type of runs because you're often always bombing, and I thought it was just the fragmentation of a bomb and sometimes how it operated as physics in the game. But it's actually the gold. You can't bomb directly through gold. It's why you get the fragmentation and the bombing terrain. If you've got gold in the way, that kind of little portion below the gold that you've bombed above won't actually be destroyed. And it's only when I started doing no hit I kind of really noticed, because I really committed to getting the gold in the second floor a lot more. Just because it was so necessary compared to any other time. But I wonder why gold is so indestructible.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain. So, like, obviously the dust or the powder, you know, sometimes you can destroy that, but I don't know. It's quite odd. It works out though. Who doesn't want more gold in this game?
Gold is
good.
It
wastes a bomb though, and you're trying to get through somewhere, and there's gold in the way. Accidentally rolls over it. It covers half your bomb. Where you're trying to blow it up.
Yeah, it's weird with all these new perks. Now I have to kind of weigh them up against the ones that are tried and trusted for this type of run.
I wouldn't actually say infinite spell perk is cheesy, because you're still going to need multiple. What I define as cheesy is you only need that thing to really be able to complete most of the game. Say invisibility, say teleport, say whatever, say ambrosia. But infinite spells isn't a single. You still need the wands. You still need to put a wand together. You still need to traverse. You know, even if you've got infinite black holes, which it doesn't do. You know, it's a multiple component part, which you can get a multiple component part that is cheesy, but you still need to work to put it together, so it makes it kind of less cheesy, in my opinion.
Precisely. I think there's still going to be a ton of skill involved, and it's not like there's any less risk of getting set on fire or
we got a shop here.
Challengeable.
In fact, having more of something can make it worse. But you give yourself, it's like the bubble wand. You know, you make a very fast firing rate of fire bubble wand with, say, a damage field on. It's a very busy screen. You're putting a lot on screen to distract you from incoming shots. So having less can sometimes be more, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Also,
that square barrier kills the boss. If you want to look for a boss kill, that will do it.
Oh, really?
No,
I think it's like 3 or 4 would kill the boss, unless you have piercing, in which case you could insta. But it would also be really dangerous.
In all this? Yeah, trigger it.
Yeah,
you're just stuck in the middle of the square trying to hover. I'm running out of levitation.
That's not bad, and it's now, and I have trigger spells, and it's unlimited. So yeah, why not? Although that does take a lot of my money away.
I'm calling set seed.
You saw me restart the game.
But yeah, make sure you shoot that thing at least a couple times to understand the range, and also note that a trigger can bounce off the boss, so you have to time your shots.
Right, shielded.
I really, really don't want that thing bouncing back in your face and hitting you.
That would be the best way to go.
After the speed run, I was just standing there next to the boss, like waiting for his little shield to go away. Like, he's taking his sweet ass time.
If anyone has any questions, please feel free to pass them on to the commentators in chat. They will.
Oh, most definitely. Is Dunk lurking? Maybe you can get. Yeah, so Solar has something to do.
Get back in the shop, Solar.
So just remember as well, in this game, every pixel of hazardous environment is a run ender, essentially, in a normal situation. Oh, he's gonna shoot, isn't he? He doesn't like me very much, and they're gonna go up real soon.
I love
Shh.
it. Was damn.
Okay.
It was 1-1. Wobbles won the non-teleport. I won the any %. It was again. Watched a bit on that. Watched the entire thing.
It was
again,
amazing.
It's just been a wonderful.
It was so good.
All around, not just my speedruns.
Yeah, we're gonna upload the whole thing to YouTube. I think. I'm not really sure where we're gonna place it yet, but I think this definitely merits a YouTube video.
Like,
Can I kick him?
Instruction was amazing.
Oh, it's not worth it. It's so not worth it.
The 11 orb. Oh man, it was again the type of stuff he got. Made it challenging enough that watching the entire thing through, you know, it was good stuff.
So I know for a fact if you kicked him there, he would have exploded and died instantly. But there might have been a small chance that it was able to spawn an enemy, which was my big fear. Yeah.
Right.
What are you thinking? What's your thought process
here? I mean, probably a reroll. I would think if I had to take one, I'd take strong levitation, but probably reroll here. Chainsaws for sure. If I had is this a multicast? It's not, is it? But I have this, so we're good. Although that costs 6 mana each time.
Yeah, it's the most expensive multicast in the game, despite being a pentagon and not a hexagon. Kind of weird. What's up with that,
we're doing a Noita summit. Dunk has graciously hosted his channel to allow us to put on a showcase performance of this game. Been going on for how many hours? 8, something like that. And people are jumping in and out. It's cool. Glad you could join us, mate. Thank you for the raid.
They're telling you to test out Square Barrier. Make sure you shoot it at quite a distance. It's pretty massive.
Yes. But currently, we have McQueeb running no hit with a mod from... It was Goki's mod, wasn't it?
This is one of Goki's, yeah. He made it specially for the event, so...
Yeah, this is a custom mod.
Aren't all mods custom?
The custom to the event. That is quite true, though. You got me there.
So that's a 26 plus 3. That's 29 damage for hit. It's not bad. Let's add a couple of these to it. See if see how this recharge goes.
Can you just check Discord quickly, McQueeb?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you can just pass those on, that's totally fine. Just do what you got to do. If you want to do it right now, go ahead. So, Bamalim just has to quickly restart the stream.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
So what happened?
Just waiting on Bam.
I see. Some buffer stuff, I see.
Yeah, once my... Oh, actually, we're not on anymore.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not on chat.
Oh, we're not on chat. When my connection problem, the straight drops, were sorted, how was the buffering on that? Afterwards?
Oh, it was totally fine.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
All right, and we're back.
All right. Hello, everybody. I haven't done anything since you were last here, but hi, good to see you. Now that I think about it, let's see if we can actually use this. Although they might have changed this so it affects the whole wand now, huh? I can't remember.
Nope, it should still work if you put it after the
oh, nice.
the trigger.
Doesn't seem as fast though. It's not bad, huh?
Yeah, it looks. It's all right. It's all right. I feel like the spark bolts might be a waste of mana.
Hold on, putting the freezing after having it speed up and shooting a load of freezing faster. It'll lag the game, I suppose. If it's infinite. And they have their own casterly.
Oh, you're thinking machine gun.
Machine gun freezing. Actually, having the game lag out isn't necessarily a bad thing.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Bullet time. Just have the game ultra slow the whole time, and then have perfect reaction.
Many a speedrunner, many a time has used lag to their advantage, and it's no bad thing, you know. It's wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, just push on to glory, one frame at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't tell anyone if you don't.
Explosion immunity is too good, right?
Enemy
explosion immunity is probably one of my least favorite immunities for this run. I mean, it is possible, but at the same time, it's pretty easy to stay away from explosions too.
That's fair. I think maybe at best it could potentially save you from like a holy bomb or a nuke going off, and that's if you're very quick on the flask to water yourself.
Yeah, bin lifting. If you kick another frozen enemy into if you kick a frozen enemy or into a frozen enemy, I think the one receiving the body of frozen enemy will shatter as well. So I think it's any physical object that hits the frozen enemy enough will shatter it, I think.
So yeah, how many of your runs have ended in that very spot?
Half.
Yeah, yeah, it would be that a lot of them do make it just to here. Literally this little cup, and then you either get swarmed or there'll be like a rifleman hanging out over here, ready to go. So yeah.
You see the egg launcher to your left.
Yep, don't like it. Oh shoot.
Yeah, so So freezing vapor is definitely one of the scariest things in this run, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
I
And
was
it can
just
go
about to say
through
the same thing.
floors as well, which is just makes it doubly worse.
it's
Constantly find
period.
yourself floating in this, like trying to float as much as possible. Because even little bits of floor, you notice a little bit of floor that's kind of deep blue. That's kind of like dark ice, which if it gets cracked, can release bubbles. Horrific. You notice it especially, say you know those frozen skulls, they release their frozen shot. If they freeze the floor, that floor will then bubble as well. You can shoot the floor prematurely to solve that issue, but yeah, good luck trying to check. It's like, you know, walking through a minefield.
Yeah, truly. I think this floor is
Here
just
come the bombs.
ridiculous. How potentially dangerous it can be. Like enemies, it's so open. Enemies can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Just like what's happening here, even.
Yeah, that was a good reaction.
Covering all your points at once is just impossible. Up, down, left, right. You just can't look that many places at once. And enemies travel. I'm sure enemies travel quicker when they're off screen. I really do. The amount of times I've been flanked, I've known where an enemy is, saying, "Oh, he won't catch up with me that fast," and then they're just suddenly behind you. Suddenly, all of a sudden, even though you don't believe they can move that fast, they do.
That's interesting.
No, if I get hit, Lord Pills, I will get teleported. So the hit will register. So it'll get added to this little counter here. And then I'll get teleported back to the previous Holy Mountain. At least that's how the mod is supposed to work. There is a flag in the mod to actually teleport you back to the beginning of the game as well. It's not something I really want to do at this hour of the day, but yeah.
It's a big time investment at that point.
We have rats.
So smug, and they can
The
get
amount of
heals.
times you can, like, I don't know, rats never
Oh,
really
those.
bit my legs that much. Do you know in regular runs, rats bite your legs all the time? In these runs, I kind of, despite how close sometimes they would get, they always seem to be able to just luckily get out of the way and no hit. It was weird. Like, they're one of the least painful enemies I found. Mainly because everybody else is so bad with rifle shooters in here. You just didn't see rats as that much of a threat. I don't know about yourself, McQueeb, in that one. Did you get your legs bit that often?
No, not by rats. They're pretty easy to avoid. Sometimes when they like fall on you or they leap at you, I guess. Whoop. God damn it. Big hit too.
Oh.
No.
I ran out of flight juice right there.
Oh no.
It was
Yeah.
going so well. So one thing you could have done was like pull out the tablet and like block the bullet with it, but at the same time, that's kind of impossible reaction speed at that point.
Right. Yeah. That's right. We didn't go left, did we? We went right.
Sentries.
And there's a lot of action to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not the way to go. So an interesting thing that McQueeb can do when he's going down these large passageways is he can place a freezing charge and then a layer of water, so that way enemies can't attack him while he can't see them on screen.
Wow, that's I hadn't even thought of that. That's some big brain play right there.
Freezing field is insanely powerful.
You can
There's
give
so many
yourself a
things
bit
you
of a
can
leg
do.
up if you don't have enough levitation to get somewhere as well.
Yeah, I've used that quite a few times, actually, to grab the orb at the top of the mountain.
And this is where fresh perspectives come from, because say a single runner run a game, and they don't see that, and then someone comes along and shows them that, then both people are running it, and then new things will come out of that as well. Things will just extend on extensions of theories.
Oh, I had a very similar experience in that one of my main speedrun games, Sublevel 0, where I was, for the longest time, the only person who actually cared about speedrunning the game. And then someone came along and found an
Immunity's
amazing
nice.
glitch.
That's a dream right there, right? I think that's a must-have.
Yeah, I was
pretty much.
contemplating rats just because of the channel that we're hosting this on, but then I thought, no, I actually want to win the game, so, you know.
So
You
now
wanna
you can
dethrone
set
the rat
every
king.
enemy on fire.
That is very true. Yes. Yep, absolutely. So we can do that right
Fire
there.
freezing? Does that work? I don't think it
Explosion on slimy
does,
enemies
actually.
is no longer
Does it?
dangerous.
oh, it's water and fire. It instantly gets put out. It's slime or a mist. It's possibly toxic mist and fire that doesn't work, or slime and fire.
So one other thing as well you'll notice is that the amount of money that I'm collecting is next to nothing. And that's why I really wanted to farm the first level, because from here on out, forget about it. There's going to be not much money collected at all. You have to kill people so far away that by the time that you are able to get to them safely, any sort of semblance of gold pickup is long gone. So.
No, I found PC base to be one of the most not as bad as level 3, but still one of the most inconsistent in terms of duration you're going to be spending in it. You can get through PC base quite quickly if you get a good generation, but say you get a nightmare one, you're stuck in the start and clearing hordes of enemies. Again, you're protected when you go in, somewhat with the boxes and the 2 open spaces at the bottom. You can funnel enemies in. But that can get hectic if you've got hordes coming from either side. You're just going to get pushed back up and get shot. But then this can be really empty as well, and there's no sentries, and you just make your way down, and it can be really quick as well.
You said there's very little potential for gold, but now, at least in the Hisi base with the drills, you do have a little bit of a chance of finding some extra gold there.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, even the
many of my runs.
The circle of stillness is going to help us out there. Honestly, at this point is when my heart rate starts to elevate and I'm more focused about just getting through the level. So that's one thing I noticed about the first run that was successful, is by this time you start to really lose track of kind of the big picture stuff because you're so focused on the micro. A good example would be the second last level Temple of the Art. You know those little traps that are lying around everywhere?
Yeah.
The little arrow traps. I flew past like 3 or 4 of them and didn't even notice it because I was so focused on like my eyes were darting around the screen looking for like the next best thing. You know, it's kind of weird.
Very intense then.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, so that's boss killer, but I guess have we already got one? Yeah, we do.
I mean,
it won't hurt though, and
the weapon I've got would be enough, right? Or do you think acid ball would be better? Oh no, this thing. We got the.
I think you're. Yeah, I was thinking acid ball, but at the same time, you might be able to just chainsaw the heck out of them too. Sometimes chainsaws are.
Chaotic poly.
It's got to be polymorph. Yeah.
Teletubby Cream Pie is asking if we can just turn the gamma up so that way we can see through walls and stuff. Not only would that hurt everybody's eyes, but that would be sort of unsportsmanlike. So we're gonna not do that in this run.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up. So one of the best perks, and I'm sure Suffer will back me up on this, is All-Seeing Eye for that exact reason.
Yeah, it is.
Being able to see everything.
Anytime you can give yourself information is a good idea. You know? And that's just pure information. Again, it's information you don't have to work for as well, because it doesn't take much to train your peripheral vision when something isn't covered in darkness. But say you've got enemy radar or one radar, enemy radars, a close example to it. That's information that you have to work with. You don't know what enemy it is, so you need to account that it could be all enemies. And you don't know the terrain you're facing, so you don't know if you can charge. Because sometimes you've got to decide whether to be aggressive or defensive, because something might be coming up behind you. So you might make a bit of buffer and distance between what's behind you to move in front, or you need to be defensive.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Same time. So the more information, yeah.
So you can use acid to dig through all the remaining floors if you want. And also, there's a little combination that we are very, very close to. If we find a slime mist, you can just repeatedly, permanently explode if we can find piercing as well, which could be really, really cool. Because you've got all the resistances you need for it.
Now what?
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. I will probably I'll probably skip all of this. Actually, that's probably not worth getting at all.
Okay. You don't take more love here, huh? That's interesting.
I'd go bouncing just in case I found homing, and even bouncing on its own in a way. I know it nullifies digging, but one thing that was very powerful on my own runs.
Bouncing, really?
Homing and bouncing.
All right.
It allowed the bullets to remain on screen while homing, even if they collided, and just bounce and keep on being savage and looking for enemies to find. It's kind of like a increased duration of sorts, but a bit different, but kind of the same.
We'll take the Let's Suffer Together special, absolutely.
You'll need homing. I forgot to mention. I didn't. I didn't mention, I'm not going to say. I can give you all the information.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't take it unless you have homing. By the way.
Yeah, probably. You're not digging, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's the only thing that ruins it.
What is the start?
So Nomios, it's interesting you say that. I used to have a heart rate monitor when I used to play Minecraft. I was doing hardcore Minecraft there, and I didn't like it. I stopped using it because it was a chest mounted one. They didn't have a wrist mounted one that could be used for like on screen, something to do with the refresh rate. I don't know. I'm not technical, but yeah, we did have that running at one stage. It would be actually quite fascinating to have that going here as well.
Jungle is surprisingly one of the most easiest if you can dig.
Oh, did you see that?
Has ruined for himself by following my advice. That's a lesson for everybody.
That is two spider.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's
behind
dirty.
Ooh.
Oh, that is very dirty. Jeez.
You can't really acid it. I wouldn't recommend meleeing it. I'm kind of wondering what the... maybe freeze into tablet, because when something's frozen, it's a rigid body, and tablet deals more damage against rigid bodies most of the time. This might also work. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You're doing some pretty nice damage for, like, a run that has been very minimalist.
I do want to point out that the Luckies, even the baby ones, are not... They don't respect that circle of stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
No freezing whatsoever, is it? It's not a circle.
They were slowed. They were definitely moving slower.
Interesting. I'm not sure.
I prefer stopped.
Yeah, stopped is definitely best. If we can get that, then that'd be ideal.
I think I got it. I think I
Any sort
got
of
it.
movement towards you increases your heart rate.
Oh.
And then you've got to back up a little bit. And even backing up a
Jeez.
tiny little bit can compromise your position. Like,
Teletubby is asking McQueeb if you've played any Diablo 2 hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Black holes.
Oh.
Where was that in my run?
Oh!
Ooh.
I would have gotten hit there. I would've got it.
Snipers, that was the perfect distance away. McQueeb had it covered there with that distance and moving. To decide. Again, you need to, there's a very specific distance you have to be away from a sniper to, if you're going to do a side-to-side move, say they're below you and you move left or right and they're tracking you, you need to be a certain distance away. And it's a very subtle little art or science that, you know.
Yeah, it's really tricky to dodge a sniper bullet consistently. It's all about making sure you're moving away at the right time, and like you said, the distance is crucial.
It's worse when they jump on you and you've got no chance.
Yeah, you basically have to sunlock them in that scenario, or you're pretty much done
What
for.
you can do is you can try and maneuver to actually make the shot boop you away from them, but you might get booped into darkness and listen to more enemies. But the only thing you can really take advantage from it is trying to, you know, get booped in the right direction.
See how slow it's running now?
Yeah.
Because of all this crap on the screen.
Yep.
So.
It's bullet time. It's a positive. I warned you.
I also tend to get this in the jungle just naturally because the jungle tends to, I don't know, something with the...
I think it's the new flowers.
Yeah, maybe.
It's been doing that since I've gotten this game.
Zalpar, you need a magic ball. If there is one.
There was another sniper down here somewhere, right?
Oh,
yes, what a Noita is, and if you can catch it with a Pokeball.
Noita is an agent of magic, and that is all we know.
Oh, she's evil for sure. She is the bad guy.
You think?
I think.
I feel like Noita's the Noita's motives change over the course of gathering more orbs because your knowledge grows as you get the tablets and collect the
Oh,
orbs.
I am explosion immune. I am okay from these mines. I
Thankfully.
appreciate you stopped throwing them though.
Unlimited supply.
They must have unlimited spells too or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, they've
Yeah,
always
you
been
could
able to
dig his way
continually shoot, right?
Yeah, they have.
He's just
Unlimited
helping you
BS.
with your unlimited bombs, you know? He's just gonna dig you all the way. Like, explode you all the way. Same. So, I'm sure I've asked this before, but forgot. Do black holes bounce on bouncy?
They don't interact with terrain, so they shouldn't
Yeah,
bounce.
I don't think so.
Nope.
we go.
Demonstration.
So McQueeb, is this the first no-hit run to have a dragon kill featured in it?
Nope.
Damn it! Everything was there.
We have to ask you one question. Do you believe?
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay.
Oh,
Toxic.
Oh.
Frozen
Yeah.
toxic. Very
Yeah, they'll
toxic
do it.
sludge or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Well, there you go. That would have been an end right there, which is pretty... that was an unfortunate one.
That's
So
the
there was-
biggest problem we're using Frozen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You freeze toxic and you step on it. Doesn't matter if you're immune. You take damage.
Pretty
Even if
unfortunate.
you stand on it and not moving. I used to think it was if you moved on it. Which, obviously, if to land on it in the first place, you've technically moved on it already, so that's 1 HP. But you definitely, if you run over it, you keep on taking tick damage, so that's where my thought of you had to move to take damage on it. 'Cause
What-
you can stand still on it, fine.
What
can't
was
you?
it exactly that got me? Was it the plant that I blew up? The
I
vine?
wonder if it was a toxic... or maybe it was poison. Because poison
This here?
freezes and deals damage. Wait, no, frozen poison doesn't deal damage. Only frozen or poison rock deals damage.
Yeah, if you've got freezing field and you land on purple, you're fine. You can run all over it. Can you eat it? Just eat everything.
Just eat it all.
Please buff nuke. I agree. Get glass cannon. They've done it for you. Clap.
When
Praise
you
all
have...
the games, thinking about it before you even realize it, you know.
Exactly.
I don't
One thing
need
about-
water, but I keep doing it out of habit anyway.
Yeah, it's best habit to have. You know this.
Mhm.
Man of experience. Just stay hydrated. I'll tell you
Ooh,
what.
I wonder
spiders-
if an explosion, even though I'm immune, would teleport me back up to the top. Well, no, fire would do the same thing, huh?
But the one thing jungle does do, although you can get through by digging in a matter of like 30 seconds, you can get jungle out of the way. It's one of the fastest you can do if you're prepared, or the slowest. Well, what the jungle does, it exposes weak loadouts that don't feel weak. Specific types of
crap.
magic you'll come across that feel relatively powerful before spiders just won't die to. You'll just be inundated with flies and
This-
spiders.
This exit. Oh my god. Yeah, back to the start for you.
So it's an exposure of weak builds as well that you need to be
That
aware of.
exit made me want to ask you one question. You feel lucky?
You make your own looking now.
Isn't that what isn't that what Rachel Dawes said to Bruce Wayne?
We'll go with that.
That was horrible. So they must have come from a little side area then. Wow, we're at 3 hits. I should be ashamed.
Well, spiders being able to dig. Come from anywhere, particularly. Saying that, the ones that are spawned in walls that you see the eyes of, and sometimes the legs poking out, they don't come out to play as often as I thought they used to. They normally stay put in the terrain now. I don't know if they're stuck or they just don't want to play. I like them when they're static, not moving, not a threat. Again, they're chunkier than you think. Do spiders take more damage when they're frozen? Freezing.
Spiders are very resistant to damage in general.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what... I know they're weak to a damage type. I think it's explosive damage.
Slicing, I believe.
Oh, is it slicing?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They
Tell
just
you what,
explode so well.
The auto cast lance with chainsaws I had once.
There's so much good
Used
stuff
the
here.
lances to dig. It was insane. Like, I was every
Is that ground to
20
sand?
lances every second or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, just to give you a rundown of what's on some of these ones. We had homing right at the start. There's what's that one called? Digging bolt.
Oh my god, this is
Homing. There's the electricity
there's some
right
good stuff
there.
here.
Speed up.
Times
ground
we wish
sand.
we had money.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
This shop is amazing.
that's
Holy
the
crap.
the biggest thing about this. The biggest thing about this run. It's so dependent on you know the right equipment. Oh boy.
How do you
The
slice with a
vault where
sphere?
runs come to die.
Is this a
With
healer?
magic,
What is this
dude.
thing?
With magic.
That is not the healer. The
That's
healer
not-
is 3
thank
green
you,
lights.
thank you. Right, okay, cool.
What you hope for here is you can actually dunk into the water to see a little bit downward, because normally there's wood. Well, you can just do this. There's normally wood at the bottom of here that you can break through and have an easier time
Oh,
funneling
dear.
people up if you need to. Because going through those boxes that you can't see, you get a nasty surprise. But you've got a lot more range, and they have a harder time shooting upward. So it's always better to get them coming up rather than side to side. That's how I felt about this place. Don't know about yourself, McQueeb.
That's bad.
Freeze it.
He went right through it.
Freezing. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. I feel like
Not
this is the...
shot.
Oh no. That box burning is a big deal. It's a lot of new enemies. Acid. Ice. Watch out.
Thank you.
No!
Well, that's one way to deal with it.
So Ben Lifton, there was some frozen toxic. No, what was it? Yeah, frozen toxic, I think.
Frozen ice. Or, sorry, acid ice. There you go.
Acid ice.
That was a...
This unlimited spells thing, I could get used to this.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
What
Problem
is the
is,
logic behind
an
like
explosive goes out of your sphere of influence, it doesn't seem to do either any damage or it does very minimal damage. So say you're dropping a bomb down, it only goes so far, I feel. How about
Yes,
you guys?
it flattens the terrain in like the tower shape that your character has as influence. That's a heavy shot. If you put that on
Heavy
your freezing
shot.
field, it's gonna one-shot stuff.
Yeah, that's a keeper now.
It's just a question of what do you get rid of.
Yeah. I think my bombs can go, huh? Although I have so many of them.
They stop being useful after this floor, so I would say that's reasonable.
As long as you can puncture through wood and sand.
Here's my healer
which you
guy.
can.
That's black holes for him.
Surprised you haven't gone more that route. I know it's generic, I suppose. Black hole and everywhere. Not really, you know. Too versatile.
Opening up
What are
new
you gonna do
areas
next?
can be
Puncture
very
downward.
dangerous.
What are you gonna do next? Puncture downward. And next, a puncture downward. Oh, okay. I think we know what's happening here. Well, it is necessary on certain runs. Not every run, you know. Not for a showcase.
R.I.P. healer bot.
So during a normal healing run, what's it called? A no-hit run, I would not be picking up health. It's kind of irrelevant at that point. I'm creating more frozen acid here, of course, because...
You can just a flex that, you know, you're picking up something you don't need and... Ha! Game. Can't stop me. I'm gonna do as I do. And the enemy are going to do as they do, running into that frost. Clever. Saying that, I feel enemies learn, like, eventually. If they see a path that doesn't work for them, I'm sure eventually, after a certain amount of times, they learn and try another path. And I've seen it become really intelligent before at dodging my stuff, even walls of defense like that. Say, just like this, they'll eventually probably learn to go around.
Oh,
I don't know whether it's an actual AI mechanic, but I've definitely seen it happen.
is that guy
I
new?
think they might reroute. No.
Yeah, reroute.
Frostor, is he? I don't think so.
They don't seem to
The enemies reroute as you move around, I think, which is the main thing. Now, Steven is the one that seems to be particularly clever, because it seems like he almost reacts to when you open your inventory. I've definitely seen players
Can we
complain
get a
about
shout
that.
out for this giant vat of, well, not giant, but that pool of acid to the right of McQueeb here that's just sat there for the last minute,
Yeah, that's fun.
hasn't moved?
I hate these little robot
nasty
guys.
path.
Yeah, this is quite the dangerous level.
This was the main level. Like, when I first thought about trying out, like, this experience for myself, going for the no-hits, I'm like, alright, what level sounds the worst? And to me, it was definitely this one. I thought about just RoboCop in general, and I'm like, I don't think this one's for me.
Yeah, robots are they're tanky little guys. Huh? They take so much damage.
The fact that they can, like, rapid fire the little shots, too, that is just horrific to deal with.
Yeah, and
very scary.
Pin you down. This is also very scary. I don't really have much of a choice here, though.
I think that might be like a little self-enclosure.
Feels like it, yeah. That's from a good one.
These two can be rascally.
Oh man.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Hey,
That
at
was a-
least you
that
didn't
was a
drop into
dirty
the
one.
acid.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Oh,
the hits. The hits.
Fire immune coming in handy there.
It was
Alright,
just
so
a
you
little
can seal
room.
this
You were
off with
absolutely
water.
right.
Yeah.
You've got to watch out for toxic in the actual walls here as well as you dig or black hole through. Even the tiniest little bit, you know, step on it. Like when you see a very 1 pixel thin film of toxic, generally that won't do you. But anything that's like 2 pixels thick, it's got you. Like it's normally you've got a difference between a surface that is stained and a surface that actually has the liquid on it. I feel, or just 1 pixel won't get you. So if you see a little green like line
Something's
on the
hurting him.
surface,
I'm not
it
sure
won't
what exactly.
necessarily toxic if you run over it. But you know, best practice is to avoid it.
Ben Lifton is asking how many times you've done a successful no-hit run, McQueeb.
I think just the one. I did. So when we were all racing recently, I did make it up to this stage in 25 minutes. And I think that would have taken it had I not have been hit and had to restart.
Do you remember what loadout you had when you got here? 25? Yeah, no, that's a big question. Centuries, man.
So there's a big part of the no-hit run that changed between McQueeb's initial no-hit run and then it becoming competitive. And that was specifically that people decided to assign a timer as the like the defining feature. Like basically you want to go as fast as possible without getting hit. And it lowers the consistency of the no-hit run immensely the faster you go. Another interesting take on it, I was actually considering, what if you did a no-hit run, but the goal was to have the high score in money?
Oh my god.
Oof.
That is actually an amazing way to score something now that I think about it.
Because that would not
That'd be
only
brutal.
employ the consistency of the standard no-hit run, but it would, you know, it would allow people to really min-max if they wanted, and they could take that risk.
That is an amazing idea, actually. Because everybody's got the same second floor. You just random seeds, random all the time.
so-
You get lucky in Hisi base as well.
So that's and just ignore time altogether.
Yes, don't worry about the time. I think
So-
it should be scored on
Going to the
cash
right.
instead.
Of the overworld would be
Well, they might
you
have to-
could easily just ban gold. You could ban the gold.
Infinite cash as well. Could be
Shit.
if you really wanted to get.
see.
Yeah.
Oh
there
my
are
God.
lots of ways.
You'd have to. It would be tricky to get it.
Game, please.
This is spiraling out of control, McQueeb.
You know what? We weren't doing too badly up until this point. Let's
know
pick
what?
a different direction, maybe, huh?
You can chalk it up to this. This run is unbelievably hard, and if you got it on your first try, you would not be a human. So
Well, it
there.
took- was it 5-6 weeks for you to do your first, McQueeb?
Yeah, about that, I think, actually, yep.
It took myself and Wobbles roughly the same amount of time as well to get ours started. Well, to get him close to finishing a run. Insane amount of
What I
preparation.
like about frozen toxic sludge is that if you shoot it, it breaks up and disappears.
Yeah. What I really like about freezing as well, say you've just got too much water, just crack a lot of ice, freeze it, get rid of it, which, again, defies physics in the game a little bit, makes it a little bit, well, it's like matter can be just destroyed and not turned into something else, you know. I suppose that's with gas as well, it just disappears, and it doesn't really affect you. But at least with gas you see it, you know. With ice it just disappears, which is, you know, a bit weird, but fair play, you've got to do something, right? I wonder if they tested that in either like better testing or whatever. Having ice that didn't disappear, and it'd just be so annoying because you'd have to constantly try and kick it out of the way.
I feel like it would
Bombs,
cause a lot of
bombs.
bodies.
Everything, yeah, it freezes.
Could you dig it?
around
Yeah, I'll let you take that one.
all the black holes? You can't in the McQueeb rule set. Eventually, we figured that getting an always cast matter eater, you could literally just, you know, skirt around everything. But McQueeb rule set is about an anti-cheese and more pro-mechanical and movement and one building kind of run. So we came to an agreement. Nah, it's not for the rule set that was in the spirit of the rules, you know.
Yeah, basically, who was it that was initially contemplating it? Like, I know that was an idea. It's like, hey, we should add this to the rule set. Yeah, it was you suffer.
Yeah.
It's all about cleverly abusing the rules and then being like, hey, we should add this into the rule set, right? Because I think everyone here wants the same thing in like a challenge run, right?
Well, I actually found an always cast matter eater. I just accidentally jumped on Midas. So it ended
Oh
the run.
no!
I am so glad you guys can't see my face right now.
How red is it?
RoboCop is the worst. Like I said, that is the single enemy that stops me from even like contemplating doing this.
But just think about doing this again and again on regular runs, having to redo the entire thing without getting hit again and again. Every time he's been hit, and realize he's done that.
Yeah, this is already closing
is
in on
just a showcase, and you know, in reality, it was even more than what I just described. You know, the immense dedication,
There he is.
will to achieve what you achieved.
Yeah, it's
Without
really something else.
Because you'll notice in sports or anything like that, it's as soon as someone has proved the concept, it's always easier to do. But doing something that hasn't been done before is always the harder concept and actual task to pull off.
I hate
Really,
everything
was-
about this.
That was a
This
sick
is really
move.
deadly.
Drawing that
Saying
fire
those
over
little bugs,
the robot. That was
have you
cool.
ever been hit by one of those bugs? Because I don't think I have. They seem so innocuous and they're all right.
So Hero says no
my
hits means all
God.
damage. Oh no. It's okay. It's a minor setback. That's what the video game says.
Just a minor setback. No big
Yeah,
deal.
there you go.
See, so
no
now
hits
I'm
means
contemplating
literally nothing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no environment damage, no damage to self, no enemy projectile damage. The so right now I'm contemplating like to take a completely different route, which means I have to start that clearing process all over again. And I think like that end room, that's crazy.
Subcategory under 10 damage run. Problem is when you take most of your damage when you get further down, and you're more likely to be multi-hit. So actually, that's still pretty tricky.
I think
you will find yourself getting hit once or twice.
Oh my lord!
On a no-hit run, like it's been done quite a few times where you just get 1 hit, 2 hit. You've probably taken more than 10 damage in that 1 hit, 2 hit because of where you took it near the end. Unless it was just a single bit of fire, which has happened before.
Bad news, Dominios. Your prediction's looking a little short.
I think a good entry-level variant of a run such as this would be no healing. And I think everyone would be very impressed with a no healing run if McQueeb hadn't made a no-hit run first.
And a brain box. There's often stuff hidden inside that sort of heard. I found.
Yes, very regularly hearts are inside. You can mouse over just to check. Sometimes treasure chests are inside as well. It's
that's
dead
where I
set.
saw treasure chest.
Well,
But
we
then,
can mouse over.
I don't care.
Yeah, there's not much in there that could really benefit this run. Unless there's an unhit button in there.
A chest with an amazing one.
Alright. You never said anything about digging in between the level.
No, digging. You can dig as much as you want. If you have a like a wand like I just found, go nuts.
You're allowed any amount of terrain destruction as long as that terrain is the regular biomes. You can probably destroy the Holy Mountain as well. That's not been discussed and not cheesy, really. Because you'd anger Steve and then you have to deal with Steve.
I'm gonna cry.
No!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's too busy crying. Oh no.
He's.
It's happened.
Oh no. I think that's the equivalent of a rage quit.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you complete a Noita no-hit run. You can catch me a couple of times a week over at twitch.tv/this game. Oh my god.
Solid
Brutal vault. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the roughest ones that I've seen, and I've seen quite a few. Give it another shot. Oh man, it is...
I'm down to watch another one of those. That was good. Go for it.
All right then. Jesus Christ.
I, for one, I will have to be jumping out. I've got to get sleep. It's 8:30 here, so it's been an absolute pleasure, my friends. Thank you for joining us with this event.
Thanks for sticking around, dude. Good to speak to you.
It's been amazing, and thank you for everybody involved. Everybody in the behind the scenes, Bamalam.
Yes, thank you.
Alias, McQueeb, Ronkley, Smirk, just absolutely everybody else involved. Everybody joining
for hosting this.
Dung for hosting this. Thank you
That
for
cuck.
reminding me. I don't want to miss anyone.
Is he awake yet? Jeez.
He's just he went to take a quote unquote nap, and yeah, it's a long one.
That's a bit.
Goki for the mods,
That's a bit harsh. What do you got?
The scenes you put in.
Ooh.
This is an interesting setup.
You take it easy, guys. I'll see you there.
All right,
Everyone
buddy.
don't suffer. Thank you. That's a black hole wand. Or a vision wand, one of the two. You can tell by the particle effects.
He hasn't shot it yet. It's probably a vision wand.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Also, I think he's explosion immune, isn't
He does take explosion damage. He doesn't take lava or fire damage.
Lucky him. All right, let's get this wand. Oh, good. Okay, well, this will help us out anyway. And I can get my pick of the flasks in here since this room hasn't actually blown up yet.
he? Yeah, what the heck's up with that? Jeez.
Normally this room can be
Jeez.
very volatile.
waiting for a spitter to just show up out of the corner of the room.
I mean, I would take Ambrosia here, but obviously it's not that kind of run. Berserkium's pretty fantastic though.
Absolutely, Ambrosia would be amazing if I could use it. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's check that wand up the top, which I completely skipped past. That can be helpful on this floor at least.
Yeah, it's something.
Let's tend to wash his hands.
Yeah, if we come up to Stendari, he'll happily take a shower. So,
I suppose you could say that he'll have met his match. Subtle one, but
Oh my.
I'm hope.
So it's interesting. You may have noticed me. Oh boy, you may have noticed me playing a little bit fast and loose after I took the first couple of hits there. I'm probably guilty of that. Actually, it's very difficult to maintain the same level of focus once things start to go sideways.
It's a discipline thing, really. I feel the same way when I am going for like a win streak, and then I'll just, if I die, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna speed run until I win, and then the speed runs, they start off all right, and they just get worse and worse, and it's definitely, it's all about keeping that even kilter, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. It's as much a lesson in controlling your own emotions as it is like not taking hits in the actual game.
Yeah, sorry everyone for the little bit of flashing to black that's going on here. We have to constantly refresh.
Are you doing the
screen.
restart thing? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Lightning bugs, do I want to know about the 3 seashells?
I wonder if they're talking. I wonder if they're talking about.
Are you old enough to know what that means?
Probably not.
Oh, he doesn't know how to use 3 seashells. Oh, this is nice. All right, so we're gonna get a treasure chest as
I'm
well
23.
as.
What do you want from me?
As well as a few other kills here. Maybe.
All right, there's a 0-hit bet from Bamalam. What are you betting per hit? One copy of Noita per hit? For the chat?
McQueeb stands in fire. This is an amazing spell. So this is essentially the same thing as the Circle of Stillness, except it turns everything into sheep. So
Ear infinite spells.
yeah, I would happily get that again. That proved itself in the first 5 minutes of having it. So.
Demolition Man was not hentai? Well, now I can't watch it.
And therefore is not art.
Classic movie though. I did like that a lot. They predicted that Taco
Such a
Bell
silly,
won
stupid movie.
the franchise wars, which could potentially happen.
Sounds like it might be up my alley then.
The Great Purge of 2020.
Yeah, see, every pixel of this toxic stuff. I mean, getting hit by toxic at this point wouldn't be so bad because I have 2 flasks of water. I could literally, in an emergency, throw them at the ground and I'd be fine. It saved my neck a couple of times, actually.
What's your control scheme, McQueeb? Have you got any custom controls that you utilize?
Default.
Your full default.
Yep.
So are you a scroller as well?
Oh, God.
Say that again, sorry?
Are you a scroller as well? You scroll through your late flasks and all that sort of thing?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there we go. Now we know.
With the exception, if I hit Q, I think it goes straight to the first one. And that was specifically for that emergency situation I was just talking about.
Right. I figured you might have something in place for that. I've got pretty minimal control changes too, but I figured if you're doing this sort of run, you need to really be able to get to at least one of your flasks.
Spray all the things.
Yes. Nothing will ever top the time that Chase had an explosive barrel poof into dust, but he died 20 feet away because all the explosiveness was in like 1 pixel, which was launched directly into his face by a barrel going poof. Okay, so that would have been like an explosive canister, like getting cut into a tiny pixel. I've seen that happen before, and yeah, it really sucks. It's pretty BS. This game has all sorts of weird little interactions like that.
This could be
not all of them are fair. That could be a 10-7. It'd be nice.
Ooh.
The other version of it.
Be a 345.
Yeah, the other version of it is garbage. I prefer the green one, believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it. The spread on this golden wand is questionable at best. I was saying earlier how it takes a very specific setup, like it has to have bouncing burst on it or maybe arrows for it to really shine. Because keep in mind, arrows will reduce spread, and bouncing burst, you can hit a lot by accident.
Oh, Kawaii Disc Jam.
Yeah, that's all sorts of bad. However, people get surprised when I take the discs, the saw blades in the first level. I don't often keep them beyond that, but it is the amount of damage it outputs at this stage, it can't be matched. And damage is kind of king when it comes to these runs, so...
Something that's true in all roguelikes is, you know, the more you can minimize the amount of time you're in a fight, the less likely you are to be hit. So, yeah, offense is an incredibly powerful defense, even in this game.
You're so done. $60. Yeah, ideally I'd like at least 600 because the first reroll is kind of vital. And or, you know, potentially picking up a better wand here and there. Oh. Is he safe? I can't remember. Yeah, he's fine.
So to gather money in this run, do you ever go outside of the mountain to sacrifice the tablet up there?
No, not allowed.
Because, oh, okay. So you can't even go. Interesting.
No, it's kind of all. It's encased in the you know the standard verticality.
Right. I was contemplating whether it would ever be worth backtracking for a desert boss wand, because it would mostly be a clear path. And the fight is very consistent with a fire tool of any sort. Like, all you need is a burning trail or a fire trail, and you can kill that boss no hit very consistently, which could give you a huge power boost.
When I got past hitting myself with the fire wand on the trash, I took no damage to the boss.
Mm-hmm. And obviously that doesn't really... I don't know. Does it mess with natural progression? Maybe?
Well, that's the thing. When I made the rules, I made them kind of as challenging as I could, right? I wanted my first run to stand for something. I really wanted to, you know, stick up the middle finger to the game and said, you know, you are a difficult SOB, and this is how I handle that situation. But... you know, there's nothing stopping us making another category, changing the current rules. I'm open to everything as long as everyone who's running it is in consensus. That's totally fine. Like, I love the thought of a money run. That to me that sounds perfect, because it's my style of run, right? It's less speed, more really methodical progression.
Right.
So just to give you an idea of how badly my run was smashed by wobbles at the time, I did it in 1 hour 35 minutes, I think. And he came along with he did a sub 1 hour initially, and then followed that up, I think, with a quicker run, or I can't remember who did what, but Suffer was in there as well. Suffer got a few of those in there.
I'm gonna interject here for a second.
Yeah.
McQueeb, you do have some messages from Bamelim in the Discord waiting for you.
I mean, I'm gonna stop playing to read them if that's what you'd like.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna take a little short break.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just hit me up. Just say break or something, and we'll take 30 seconds to reboot or whatever. Give me a sec, guys. He's asking me to turn down the FPS or something because we're buffering.
Oh, yeah, if you can get it to 30 FPS, that would probably be enough.
That means I have to stop the stream, right?
Think so.
Yeah,
you gotta go
fine.
into your...
The stream on Dunk's channel won't stop, but you will have to restart on your end.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, so let me stop streaming.